Hello world, Jacob here again. As promised, I'm going to show you right now how to configure Perplexity Desktop app with the NotebookLM MCP. And I'm going to try, I haven't tried this yet. This is going to be the first time I'm setting this up. So I'm going to learn with you. I'm going to try to run a scenario where I'm going to ask Perplexity to run a deep research report and then inject the report into a NotebookLM. If it works, I have no idea. Let's try. Okay, so here's Perplexity. So if I'll go back into my NotebookLM setup, so I'm going to skip the installation step. It's already installed, so there's no need. It just, you run it one command and then you authenticate. But what I'm going to do here, technically for tools like Perplexity Desktop app, and the same thing what I've done with the Cloud Desktop, we're just going to use the JSON. So let's go through the process. So if I go back into Perplexity, I need to go into expand this and go into the settings. And over here, I'll have the connectors. So now it will ask me to download a helper app according to my research. So it's going to create a sandbox locally, and you don't see it, but it opened a download link. So I'll just run the installation, and there you go. So it's download a package file for Mac, and I'm just going to go through quickly to install. Okay, installation was successful. Let's move it to trash. We don't need this anymore. And let's again see what happens. And I think we're good. So let's try to add an MCP connector. So now I'm going to use a standard IO. That's the type of my MCP. There are multiple types if you're familiar with MCP. There's SSE, or the server sent events, but we're just going to use this simple approach. We're going to call it NotebookLM MCP server. And the command to run, I think it's going to be this one. So I'm just going to copy this path, figure this out as I go, and we don't need any args, so I'm just going to change this to my user. And again, if you remember, one thing we need to do when you rerun this is to do the which command, right? So if you remember from my last video, I did which NotebookLM MCP, it gave me the path, and I'm just going to use this path in the tool. Let's go back and save. Security warning, Before proceeding, yes, I trust my own creations. Let's see if we can connect. Yes, connected, running, and 31 tools are available. So let's kick this off and see what we can do with this. Let's close this, let's minimize this. Okay, and you know what? Let me just do a research. So I'm going to ask it, please run a comprehensive research on the state of generative AI market and provide guidance and insights. Are we facing a bubble? So since they're going to take time, I'm just going to fast forward everything and see what happens. Okay, so as it generates the report, so there's two things you need to distinguish, right? So this is the Perplexity report. And if you saw my original video on the NotebookLM MCP, and if you're familiar with NotebookLM MCP or NotebookLM, the product itself, you know that it has its own built-in deep research capabilities. Based on some research, it's been proven that the Google Deep Research, and I know that some people would disagree, but it's been proven that Google Deep Research is better. But this is just an example. If you like Perplexity Deep Research, or if you're creating something with the Perplexity Labs, for example, let's see if we can import this. So now we got a very nice long, still working on it, is it? Okay, it's still working on it. So before we that, let's kind of be proactive. So I'm going to just make sure that I'm authenticated. So I'm going to run the authenticating command, which will open a browser automatically, and we'll keep this browser to see if what we're going to ask it to do, it's going to actually work. So now it's going through the process. It logged in into my NotebookLM, and it grabbed the session cookie and all the funny stuff it needs to work, and we are in good position. So let's go back and see how the Perplexity is doing. And it's still writing. So let's gonna give it a minute or so and see if it can do that and if it works or not. I don't know. I've never tried this, so we're gonna find out together, you and me. Okay, this probably will never end, so let me just try to see if I can ask it from here. I'm just afraid it's going to trigger another research, but let's give it a shot. Can you list my notebook LMs? And what I'm going to try here is just to make sure that it actually can connect to my system. And okay, so it looks at a tool. That's good. That's a good sign. Let's see what we get. Okay, so that's good. Okay, enough. I'm gonna stop it. It's just too slow. So now, let me see. Come on, not now. Now let's see if it will do what I asked. Okay, so I want you to take the report you just generated on the AI bubble, and I want you to copy it and paste it as a text to a new notebook that you will create and call it AI Bubble Research. Okay, so it's going to create a notebook. Let's see. Let's go back into the browser. Let's refresh this. Okay, so it created the research. And now we'll see if it will add. Let's go back because it's probably asking for my permission to create that. Okay, wow, that was slow. And let's add the text. It probably tried, as you saw, the report itself was quite large. So, and Perplexity itself on my computer for some reason is extremely slow. Okay, so it says it did it, and let's see if it's true. And yes, it looks like it did it. Let's click on the source. Yes, there we go. Here's the report that I generated. So as you can see, it works. I expected it to work, but it's always fun to see this and learn live with you. So, you know, you could do a lot of things. For example, I could go back into Perplexity and ask it, can you please add a simple infographic that shows the difference between the current AI bubble projection and the 2000 tech bubble? And let me see, make sure, infographic. And I'm referring to the NotebookLM called AI Bubble Research. So let's see if we'll be able to handle this. We'll give it a shot. Okay, so it's going to list. And it's going to get. And it's going to create a notebook. Infographic. So it's going to create an infographic now. And if we jump quickly into the page, you see it started generating it. So hopefully, again, I was able to show you what you can do with the NotebookLM MCP. I've showed you with Cloud Desktop on Mac, and now I'm showing you on Perplexity Desktop. Both of them are available on the Mac App Store. And technically, like I said, any GUI-based tool, even LibreChat or any Ollama, for example, interfaces that support MCP, you could integrate the MCP with Ollama. So you could, for example, use local models to create and manage your notebooks. They may not be performing really well, right? Because they're small models, but at the end of the day, that's what the MCP is all about, to allow you to automate the lifecycle management of your NotebookLM from wherever you are without leaving the current tool that you are in. So again, thank you so much for watching this video. And I got a lot of cool stuff coming up this year, so check it out. Have a good one. Cheers.